there, happy Wednesday. Just refreshing my laptop to make sure that I'm live. And it looks like we are good to go. So happy Wednesday, everybody. It's getting close to Christmas. I can't believe it's just a few weeks away. Carol Buckalew with Inky Bee Stampers. I want to thank you for joining me today. I have a sneak peek. Hey, Karen. Happy you could be here. I have a sneak peek from the upcoming January to April 2024 mini catalog. And this is from the Wild Ferns bundle. And I got a bit of texture and ink blending going on here, some die cuts, some beautiful matted sentiment. And just really like this set. I grew up, hey Mary, thanks so much for joining. I grew up playing in the woods. And so the ferns, this set kind of called to me because, you know, that's the only thing that really grew in the forest besides the trees were the ferns along the banks of the creek. But anyway, so let's get started. We are going to, so this is the bundle, the stamp set and the dies. And so you get 3 sentiment dies in this set, which is really awesome. And I think, yeah, it looks like it will cut out every one of these sentiments. And then you've got these fun pieces here that this little bar, this little L bar here would get glued behind the sentiment label, which is a whole lot of fun. I didn't use those today on this card, but just be aware. Hi Faith, thank you for joining. I use the Fern 3D embossing folder. This is my absolute, one of my favorite embossing folders. Some rhinestones and a little herringbone ribbon. And we will get started. I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of paper. And let me find all my pieces here. My desk is absolutely covered here. Just crazy, it's covered. But I'm going to use some blending brushes. And I'm going for kind of a, I'm going to ink blend on the diagonal from light to darkest. So let me just stack up my inks here. And this card was created for a color challenge for the Happy Ink and Thursday blog hop, which is tomorrow. So this card will be featured on my blog tomorrow. You can find all the instructions there then. I was a bit challenged. Oh, I got dirt on my card there. There we go. I was a bit challenged for this color challenge. I really was. And this is what I came up with, and I was happy with. I was happy with it once I got it done. I wasn't too sure if I'd be creating a whole new card once I got it done. So this is a little bit of crushed curry that I'm blending in. And then I'm going to move on to some Granny Apple Green. And my blending brushes, it's wearing off, but on my blending brushes, I used a gold Sharpie to just, you know, write on the back of the blending brush. I need to redo it. It's like worn off. But so I have a blending brush for like my yellows and oranges, and then I have one for green and blue and brown and pink, and I don't know what color am I missing. But anyway, rather than having one for each color, so that's an option. You just need to be careful to, you know, kind of get the previous color off the brush as much as you can before you go into your next color, because you don't want to contaminate your ink pads. So just a little tip there for you. And we're going to come here with, this is Granny Apple Green. It's one of my favorite greens. And I am going to blend a bit into that yellow. On my original card, I think I could have done a better job with the Granny Apple Green. Hey, Sharon from rainy West Texas. Oh my, you're getting rain. Hey, at least it's not snow. And you probably could use the rain after the summer you guys had, huh? Okay, I think that's good for the Granny Apple Green. I'm going to go ahead and move on to Shaded Spruce. I like this bundle too, Mary. It's just, I like the curly fern fronds, if that's what you call them. Challenged is an understatement. Not sure what you're referring to, Karen. Made me laugh though. So I'm going to go ahead and get that Granny Apple Green out of my brush as much as I can. It's pretty light now, so I think we're good. And Shaded Spruce is quite an intense color. So I want to make sure I'm using a light touch for the Shaded Spruce. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure how much this Shaded Spruce is going to show up, because I am going to be wrapping some ribbon. Oh, the colors for tomorrow. Yeah, I was like, It kind of stymied me there for a bit, and but you can see how strong that Shaded Spruce is against the Granny Apple Green. All right, and I'm going to move on to my blue blender brush. And this is, gosh, I've already forgotten, Blueberry Bushel. I love the names. These blending brushes are also washable. And I gave mine a bath yesterday because I've been using them quite a bit and hadn't really cleaned them in a while. So I am blending a bit of the ink, this ink up into the previous color each time. It kind of gives some interesting effects. But I think that is good. Well, let me just set my blending brushes off to the side so I don't get ink on myself. I'll tell you, when I did this original card, I was covered in ink. Okay, so that is it for the panel. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to mat this up to a piece of Granny Apple Green. So the Granny Apple Green mats are 5 1/4 by 4, and then this white embossed panel is 5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. Set that out of the way, grab my glue. I'm not kidding when I'm telling you that my desk is completely covered. I don't know how it got so so occupied, but... And I'm going to use liquid glue to put this panel on with all of this texture. That liquid glue gives it some nice adhesion and hopefully will give me some wiggle room. I always need my wiggle room to get my even margins here around the card. So tomorrow's a big day in Stampin' Up. Tomorrow is Stampin' Up is offering free shipping. It's 1 day only for qualifying orders. So that would be an order of $75 or more. And that's, you know, excluding shipping. And like, if you have, I know, free shipping, it's awesome. Because we all, you know, we all order online now, right? And I got to tell you that shipping really can suck the life out of you. So what I'm doing here, you may not be able to see it. No, I'm off screen, sorry. But I'm just making a little mark here. This helps me. You might find it helpful, but I'm making a little mark about 1 1/4 inches up from the bottom of the panel. This is going to help me wrap my ribbon. And again, and know where to put my Stampin' seal. You don't have to do this. I just find it helpful. Make sure I did mark the bottom. I did. And so I'm just going to put a little bit of Stampin' seal here. I have a heck of a time with this Stampin' seal. I really do. I think that's enough. It holds pretty good. Okay, and let me grab my ribbon. And this is the white herringbone ribbon. But back to free shipping. So free shipping tomorrow for qualifying orders. All of the details, you'll find all of those details on my blog. So, be sure to check it out at inkybstampers.com. So how I use my little hash mark here, you probably can't see it. It's right there. So I'm going to center that ribbon right over that little mark. And this just helps me get the ribbon straight, in case my eyes aren't functioning. And I'm just going to wrap that around just like that. And the ribbon's nice and straight. For the most part, you still have a little wiggle room for that. And then I'm going to adhere this to, do I want to adhere this? No, I'm not going to adhere that yet. Let's do some stamping first. We're going to set that panel aside. So I've got my inside panel here. I'm going to go back to my inks. I need to open up my my reference card here because I obviously can't remember what I did yesterday. I think I made this card yesterday. So I've got 3 fern images here. This one, whoop, you hear that clunk? That is my stamping block hitting my new glass mat. I think it's called the Glass Mat Studio. And we've got a joining promotion coming up. Hey, Amy, thanks so much for joining me. You're not late. No worries. We have a joining promotion starting up with the launch of the new catalog in January. And you purchase your starter kit, you can get this Glass Mat Studio. And I really like it. Some people like them, some don't. What I like about it most, and right now, I've got my grid paper over top of it, only because the lights would give a bad reflection in the glass mat. But I'm loving the glass mat. Number 1, it cleans super easy. And number 2, it's just a nice solid surface. There's rubber feet on the bottom to keep it from slipping on your work surface, and it's protecting my work surface, which was kind of most important to me. So anyway, okay, let's get back to, did I get the right colors? See, I'm talking and not paying attention. Oh my goodness. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is bring my little scrap paper back in. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stamp the sentiment. So the inside sentiment is "You are greatly appreciated." This is a thank you card. And I'm going to stamp that in some shaded spruce. Oh, you did get the glass mat. Faith, I think you're going to like it. I wouldn't have my grid paper down. I would just be using my grid paper for stamping off and stuff like that. But I think you're going to like it. You don't have to worry about, filming and all that stuff. So hopefully I get this straight. Let's see how I do. Okay, I'm going to take that. That looks pretty good to me. And let me get my inks opened up here. Yeah, I think you're going to like the glass mat. So I will be providing details of the joining promotion. There's going to be 2 options for joining Stampin' Up! During celebration. So that means that joining promotion runs for 2 months. Correct me if I'm wrong, Amy or Mary, but I believe that will run for 2 months. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm back to my crushed curry, and I want to stamp. I want this fern in yellow to be pretty tall. So I'm going to stamp this a few times in the corner. And then once maybe over here. And while I've got my crushed curry thing in my hand, I'm going to go ahead and do the corner of my envelope. And we're going to do a bit of overlapping here with this stamping. Okay, I think I'm done with the crushed curry. Let me get that closed up. Yeah, it runs from January 4th through the end of February, the 29th. Thank you, Amy, for confirming. Yeah, so exciting. Exciting that we're going to have a joining promotion and that you can get this nice glass mat. The mat comes, so you get the glass mat, you get a kind of a rectangular silicone, I should have pulled it out and I didn't, but it's a little silicone mat that will stick to the surface of your glass mat, and like you could mix inks in there if you wanted to, so that's fun. All right, I'm coming in with the Granny Apple Green and a different fern image, and this fern image I'm going to make slightly shorter. Let me grab my inside panel. I think I need to re-ink my Granny Apple Green. So I'm just stamping over the previously stamped images. So I'm just kind of layering this up. And then that's it for the Granny Apple Green. I can close this up. And then we are down to the shaded spruce, and I've got this pretty curling fern image. And I'm only going to ink the top of that because that's all I need. And I just really want that kind of right there in the center over top. So these, you know, I went from light to dark with these inks, so they would show up. And we'll get this one stamped here on our envelope. And this shaded spruce is going to need a heartbeat to dry because I can see the ink glistening. All right, well, let's get this is our little sentiment label. Well, let's go ahead and ink this up with the shaded spruce. And I am going to get rid of this. So hopefully I can get this stamped in the center. I cut one extra just in case. It's always kind of tricky on these small sentiment labels. So let me hold my breath and we'll give it a go here. Yeah, the curly ferns are like my favorite. I love them. Okay. I feel like I'm missing something here. What am I missing? I feel like I need... yes, on the back of my envelope. I need my Granny Apple Green back. And that was... Whoops, there go my stamps. Yeah, that was that ink. So I did not use any designer series paper on. I want to make sure this is dry before I lay it down, because I could really see how wet that ink was. New ink pad, and when they're new, they're a bit juicy. So this particular fern, I'm just going to stamp a single fern on the back here, and I'm going to stamp it sideways, kind of curling up. And that'll be our decoration for the back of the envelope. Alrighty, there we go. I didn't do a perfect job on that stamping of that last fern, but I can fix it later. It's all right. I do have a sanded eraser, so if I need it, I can fix it then. All right, let's get all our pieces together for the card. So I am double matting the sentiment label. I just really liked the look of it, and I thought, why not? I'm using all these colors, so it, you know, it allowed me to pull in a couple of the colors again for the challenge, and we just apply a little bit. Now this sentiment label, I don't know if you can see all the little holes. I did take the point of my tweezers, and when I ran this through the die cutting machine, I did have to take the point of my tweezers and just poke some of the little pieces out that didn't come out. I only ran it through once. Perhaps if you ran the dies through twice, that, you know, that it would do a better job. But that was my experience. So it really didn't take any time at all. And the point on these tweezers is just the right width to poke those little dots out. All right. Go ahead and let me make sure I'm not messing up here. Yeah, I'm messing up. I just put glue on the back of this. Let me grab a scrap piece of paper. I didn't want glue on the back of it. So I'm just going to try to scrape that glue up with a scrap piece of paper that was in my waste can. I wanted Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of this. So I'm going to turn that over. And I'll probably get glue on myself, but we'll see what happens. So I'm going to use mini Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm going to put them right in the corners. Because I want to leave room for kind of tucking in my die cut ferns. And then this is just a scrap that I had laying around, and it's thin. It's just kind of the border. I think it was left over from a paper pumpkin kit, or, you know, a kit from the kids collection. And I'm just going to put that right in the middle, just to support the middle of that sentiment label. And then I can go ahead and remove my dimension covers. And so far I haven't gotten my fingers in the glue that I accidentally put on the back here, so we're doing good. In addition to free shipping tomorrow, you'll also find out in the online store last chance products as well as clearance rack products. You can get, again, those details on my blog. And sorry, I'm pulling this towards me. I'll try to get back on screen. But I just want to make sure that I get this on hopefully straight. See how I did. I think I got it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Alrighty. So not only have I popped up the sentiment label, I'm going to pop up at this mat as well. And then the embossed panel is going to get popped up onto the card base. So lots of dimensionals on this card for sure. Oops. You know, I was so careful about putting the dimensionals on the white label. It's actually this one that I need. I need to provide space for myself. So let me just, oops. Sometimes these dimensionals don't want to come off the little backing. All right. Let me grab my little straight pieces here again. And that's actually what I needed that little skinny piece for, was the green mat, not the label itself. But that's okay. Hopefully I didn't mess myself up with the larger dimensionals. All right. And I am going to, now this dimensional is going to come in contact with the ribbon. But it didn't seem to be an issue at all. So, you know, hopefully. And I'm just going to center that and take it right up to the right edge of my card. Make sure it's straight before I really stick it down there. There we go. Okay. All right. And more dimensionals on the back of our card front here. Thank you, Mary. Appreciate it. I really, you know, when I was making this, I wasn't sure. I really wasn't too sure about the colors. I wasn't, yeah, the design I liked well enough, but I just wasn't sure about all the color. But when I got it all done, I really liked it. So hopefully you do too. Get my dimensional covers off here. So the new catalogs launch on January 4th, and that will be the January to April 2024 mini catalog. Oh my goodness, people. There's some awesome, awesome products coming. Just really pretty, you know, pretty sweets. I think there's 8 sweets in total in the new catalog. And Celebration, which is just, you know, who doesn't love free products? So for every $50 you spend in Stampin' Up! Products, you can earn free products from the Celebration catalog. And Celebration, whoops, wrong, don't do that. See, I'm talking. Let me get my card front turned around. So I have a card base in Shaded Spruce. And let me just, give me a minute here. Let me focus real quick and get this adhered straight, hopefully. I'm just looking for an equal reveal there. And I'm not doing a very good job of lining this up. Let's see here. Nope, not happy with that. Let's try again. Let go. Let go. Let's try one. I think I need to go. I've got to pull this to me. Sorry, guys. I'm dropping it down before I'm ready for it to grab. All right, that's a little bit better. We'll go with that. Okay, we got our card front done. Almost. Still have to do one thing. Let me get the inside panel matted up, and we can put that on the inside of our card. Yeah, so for every $50 you spend during Celebration, so January 4th through the 29th, you can earn free Celebration products. There are embellishments in, if I recall correctly, in the Celebration catalog. There's lots of designer series papers that coordinate with new products from the mini catalog, the upcoming mini catalog. So, you know, they coordinate. So that means, you know, dies are going to cut out images on the Celebration papers. Not every single one of them, but put some wet glue on the back of the dimensional and it will wiggle and still lift up. What a great idea, Sharon. Thank you for sharing that. All right, and I just capped my glue and I still need it. Put our little inside here. That's a good tip, Sharon. Thank you. I don't mind using liquid glue. Just when I put it on that label and didn't mean to, I was like, oh, this will be tricky, not getting it all over my hands. Alrighty. Go ahead and get our inside panel down. And we are almost done here. So the very last thing that I need to do, definitely done with the glue here. I'm going to grab some basic rhinestone jewels. I love these jewels so much. I've got a second pack ready to go here. I think I'm almost done with this pack. So what I want to do is grab some Stampin' Blends, and I've got Granny Apple Green, Shaded Spruce, and Blueberry Bushel. And I grabbed the dark shades in these. And what I love most about rhinestones is that you can color them, any color, to coordinate with your card. So I am going to color 3 of them in Granny Apple Green. And I just got new Granny Apple Green Stampin' Blends. I had really worn mine out, probably from coloring leaves and whatnot. And then in Shaded Spruce, I'm going to color 3 of the small gems. Oh, you know what? We still have to put on our little fronds, but that's okay. And then I'm going to color 2 with Blueberry Bushel. but they color up so nicely with the Stampin' blends. And I'll be able to give these a minute to dry while I finish up my card. So let's bring the card back in and let me find my little die cuts that I've already cut here. So remember I said this card was kind of light to dark. So following that theme, I am going to go ahead and glue my fronds, hopefully the right side up, following kind of light to dark. So the Granny Apple Green are going to go on the top, and very little glue needed for these. Let me clean off my glue tip. It's gotten gunky. Doesn't want to come out. Hopefully that ungunked it. There we go. So I really don't need a lot. I'm just putting some small drops here on the very bottom of that frond. And I'm going to just go ahead and, whoops, my little rubber grip just came off my my tweezers. What do you think? I need a new pair of tweezers, I think. I don't know that it's going to stay on. Okay. And so I cut 2 of the curly Q fronds and 1 straight frond. So we'll put the straight one up here in the middle on the top of the sentiment label. And we'll just put that right there. And then this little frond curls the other way, so that's perfect. And we'll get him put over here next to the others. I am just using the tiniest drops of glue. You do not need a lot. And if that hangs over slightly from the edge of the embossed panel, that's just fine. So our next fern pieces in the shaded spruce, I don't know why that, there we go. I smushed it down and it really got smushed down. The shaded spruce are going to get glued here to the left of the sentiment. And you know what? Let me tuck this one down here. There we go. And that is getting adhered basically to the ribbon. But as long as you let that glue do its thing, it should be just fine. And we'll put, and again, the same thing for this one. So I'm going to be maybe a little bit more generous with my glue. And we'll get this one put right here in the center. And I'm going to use this kind of the side of my, whoops, side of my tweezers. My sentiment label is totally, did I not? Oh, you know what? I couldn't imagine why my sentiment label wasn't sticking. It's because I didn't take the dimensional covers off. I did on the center. No wonder. All right. I'll line this up again. It should stick a whole lot better now. There we go. Oh my, good grief. And this is our last little fern here on this side. Now it's sticking. There we go. We're good now. I couldn't imagine why that sentiment kept curling or, you know, smushing down. All right, and then our last pieces are going to get dropped right in here. Oops. We'll put our rhinestones on and we'll be done. I'm just wondering if I need to, no, I'll be good. I've got plenty of clearance there. Stick that one right up in there. So is everybody ready for the holidays? I'm getting there. I think my mom and I will be baking this weekend, I think. We have to get a game plan together, but if it's not this weekend, it's like 2 days before Christmas. But, and I've got wrapping to do. Shopping's all done. But I started getting all my boxes out and everything yesterday, and tissue paper and getting all that stuff gathered. So I think I'm in good shape there. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Phew, that was a little painful. Okay. The last little bit, we are going to put our Granny Apple Green rhinestones and tuck them in here around the Granny Apple Green ferns. And then the shaded spruce, can you guess, is going to go around the shaded spruce ferns. And then we're going to put the blueberry bushel down here with our little blueberry bushel. And then this last shaded spruce I'm going to stick right up here on the corner of the sentiment label. And that is the card. Phew. Okay. Let me grab the envelope here. So we've got 2 thank you cards with the Wild Ferns bundle. Yeah. So wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. This is my second card with the ink blending. And I did a much better job blending that ink on this card than I did on this one. I think I was afraid to put too much on, but I like this one a lot better. Definitely shows up more. Shopping not done yet. Yeah, Karen, I just finished up this morning. I just ordered a couple more things from Amazon to kind of fill everything out, and yeah, so I'm calling it quits now. Just need to wrap, box and wrap. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Amy. Appreciate it. Listen, thanks so much for joining. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. And I will see you back here next Wednesday. Sorry about not doing a live last week. I just really needed a day to regroup. I needed a day to, to get some things done and get organized. Because I was feeling really stressed out. But I'll definitely be back next Wednesday. So Target orders arriving Friday. Yeah, my last Amazon orders are going to be arriving on Friday. So that's perfect. And maybe I'll actually get everything done this year in time to relax a little bit. That would be incredible. All right, listen, have a great day. Talk to y'all next week. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.